Hey everyone! Have you ever wondered how a gorgeous paradise like Thailand became the world's trash can? Today, we're going to explore the story of how Thailand has become a victim of its own and other countries' waste crisis. We'll dive into each and every aspect behind this problem and what can be done to turn it around. So let's buckle up and take a deep dive into the garbage crisis in Thailand. Let's get started. When did excessive garbage dumping in Thailand begin? It's a trashy tale of woe. Thailand has become the world's dumpster, and it's all because of a garbage crisis that has been plaguing the nation for years. Garbage dumping in Thailand has been a problem for a long time, but it has become particularly acute in recent years. In fact, the government estimated that Thailand produces around 15 million tons of garbage annually, with around 8 million tons of that ending up in landfills and the rest dumped illegally. Tracing back to the origins of this crisis, experts believe it began in the late 1990s as Thailand's economy rapidly developed and consumer demand increased. As production and consumption grew, so did the amount of waste being produced. This, combined with lax environmental regulations, led to a huge increase in the amount of garbage being dumped in the country, with some areas becoming virtual dumping grounds. What's more, Thailand's lack of infrastructure for waste management and recycling, coupled with a lack of public awareness, means that the problem is likely to get worse before it gets better. So to answer the question, excessive garbage dumping in Thailand began in the late 1990s and has been growing ever since. This crisis has been caused by a lack of proper waste management and recycling, leading to huge piles of garbage piling up in the streets. The problem is so bad that it's even been reported that the country is now producing more trash than it can handle. So how did Thailand become the world's dumpster? The blame lies in a number of factors. For one, many of Thailand's citizens are unaware of the importance of recycling and proper waste management. This has led to many people simply throwing away their trash instead of disposing of it properly. Another factor is the country's lack of trash processing and disposal facilities. This means that much of the trash ends up in rivers and streams, where it can cause massive pollution. Finally, Thailand is a very popular tourist destination, and visitors to the country often leave behind a lot of trash. This adds to the already huge piles of trash that are plaguing the country. Hold on. If you are just worried about Thailand's plastic garbage crisis, then you need to know this right now. Do you know that Thailand is also becoming the world's dumping ground for electronic waste? It started with Thailand's e-waste law, which allowed for the import of electronic waste from neighboring countries. This waste, which contains toxic materials like lead, mercury, and cadmium, was then recycled in Thailand, exposing locals to hazardous conditions. The problem has gotten worse in recent years as demand for electronics rises. This has led to an influx of used electronics from other countries, particularly developed countries in the West, who are looking to get rid of their waste in a cheap way. The result is a deluge of electronic waste that is overwhelming Thailand and turning it into a virtual dumping ground. The impact of this electronic waste is far-reaching. Not only is it polluting Thailand's air, land, and water, but it's also exposing its citizens to dangerous levels of toxic materials. Additionally, it's creating an economic burden as the country has to pay for the disposal of waste. This problem needs to be addressed quickly and comprehensively. Otherwise, Thailand will end up becoming a permanent dumping ground for the world's electronic waste. Needless to say, Thailand's waste management needs to buckle up for sure, else it's going to be a disaster for the nation. What steps is the Thai government taking to address this issue? The deluge of electronic waste is turning Thailand into the world's rubbish dump, and Thailand's poor plastic waste management system is a major issue for the country. The problem is that Thailand's existing waste management infrastructure is not designed to handle the volumes of e-waste, especially plastic waste, that is now entering the country. The problem is compounded by the fact that much of the e-waste is imported illegally, making it difficult to track and regulate. The government is calling for more stringent regulations on the import of e-waste, better waste management practices, and increased public awareness of the problem. This includes measures like banning the export of hazardous materials, introducing waste separation and recycling systems, and encouraging the use of renewable energy sources. The government is also encouraging businesses to take responsibility for their own waste management. setting up recycling and reuse centers, and creating public-private partnership programs to improve waste management. The issue of plastic waste management is particularly concerning due to its long-term environmental impacts. Thailand needs to focus on reducing plastic waste, increasing recycling and reuse efforts, and transitioning towards more sustainable materials. Overall, Thailand's government is taking steps to address the deluge of electronic waste, but more must be done to ensure that the country does not become the world's dumping ground for hazardous materials. From the country's growing consumerism to the lack of proper waste management, it's a problem that's only getting worse, and the consequences are dire. The good news is that solutions are out there, and they can help us all make a difference. So let's take action and make sure that Thailand's garbage crisis doesn't become the world's problem. Are you with us on this? Comment down below. Until next time, bye.